Making everyone happy on vacation isn't easy, but you know what is? Going to Aruba. All you have to do is walk out your door to find pristine pools, relaxing white sand beaches, and an island teeming with outdoor activities that'll put a smile on any face. You won't just feel great, you'll all feel great, filled with a calmer, more peaceful vibe that radiates Aruba's warmth. And the best part is, it never fades. That's the Aruba effect. Plan your family trip at Aruba.com.
Does Monday at the office feel like a storm? Not with Microsoft Copilot. That feeling when Copilot gets everyone up to speed instantly? It's sunny again. When Copilot simplifies complex data so your teams can act, that sun's shining on a beach. And when Copilot uncovers hidden insights, you're on that beach with your people, and you find buried treasure. That's Microsoft Copilot. Learn more at Microsoft.com/AI for all.
This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 3100, Build Your Boundaries, by Catherine of CommonSenseLiving.ca. And I'm your narrator, Justin Malik, reading you blogs every single day of the year, including holidays. Now let's get right to it as we optimize your life. Build Your Boundaries, by Catherine of CommonSenseLiving.ca. Quote, "Nobody will tell you to set boundaries. All the people around you benefit from your giving nature. Check yourself and slow down if you're giving too much." Sylvester McNutt III. Boundaries have a way of implying a division or blockade of sorts. However, over the years, I have learned that they serve a much greater purpose. Boundaries, like walls of a building or a house, are meant to protect us, keeping us safe from rain, snow, and other storms that could possibly cause us harm. When we think of boundaries in the same way, we realize that they are there for our protection and not to block out the ones we love. Boundaries are necessary because whether we like it or not, everyone is not a kind-hearted soul after our well-being. Just like there are good people in this world, there will always be people out there that could be called energy drainers. These people may not even know they're doing it, but they have the power to suck our energy and drain us, but only if we allow them to. These people could be colleagues, bosses, family members, or even strangers. That is why it is so important that we communicate our boundaries and assert them if we are feeling that our energy is being threatened. A lot of the times I've seen that happiness relates a lot to how strong someone's boundaries are. More often than not, people who are too kind and giving will be taken advantage of. Their giving nature will be seen as a trait to exploit, and the wrong people will surely swoop in and exploit them until there's nothing left. Here are some ways that you can start enforcing your boundaries in your day-to-day life. Speak up. If you feel exhausted just thinking about a situation, or if you feel that someone is trying to guide you into a direction that is not authentic to you, say something. Sometimes people may not even be aware of what they are doing. However, sometimes they are. In a situation like this, be prepared to stand your ground and affirm your opinion. There's always a chance that you'll be met with opposition, and although it may be tough at first, resist the urge to relinquish your opinion. It may be easier to try and find a compromise, but if your viewpoint is truly something you believe in, you need to speak your truth. Think about the larger implications here. If you are to be passive in a situation like this, what other situations will you be passive in? Speaking up can be hard at first, but is a necessary first step in knowing what you will and will not tolerate. Remember that only you set your boundaries and only you can communicate when they are being infringed upon. Be prepared for opposition. I've learned recently that your boundaries will always be tested when you are not ready. When we least expect it, we may encounter someone who has a strong opposing opinion, and we have the choice to either let it go or to defend ourselves. Most of the time, choosing to defend ourselves in a respectful manner is the way to go. We may not agree with others on everything, but if the other party is determined to undermine you and make you feel small, do not accept that behavior. Having a debate is one thing, but talking down to someone is another. Knowing what you will and won't tolerate helps when you are building your boundaries. When you know what is in your best interest and you affirm it, you will start building the basis for strong boundaries. Commit to yourself. Lastly, boundary setting is hard. It is something that I still struggle with and that a lot of people are struggling with as well. However, it is important to know where to draw the line in any situation and to stand your ground. At first, it may feel foreign and you may even question yourself. You may wonder whether you are making the right decision, but if this decision makes you happier in the long run, then it is a decision worth fighting for. So lean into the discomfort. If you feel a gut instinct to stand up, then speak your truth and affirm it. As you continue to do this, it will get easier every time, eventually developing into a habit. So in the end, building boundaries helps to protect us and protect our energy. It is a habit that allows us to show up as our full, authentic selves while also feeling happy that we live in alignment with our values. Rather than creating a dividing line, it helps others to understand us better and gives us a better sense of self. In short, setting boundaries is a worthwhile practice that helps you show up as the best version of yourself. So set your boundaries unapologetically and affirm them. You deserve it. You just listened to the post titled Build Your Boundaries by Catherine of CommonSenseLiving.ca, and I'll be right back with my commentary. Look, payday's awesome, but running payroll, calculating taxes and deductions, staying compliant, that's not easy. Unless, of course, you have Gusto. Gusto's payroll and HR services can make it a little easier. Gusto was designed for you, the small business owner. They take the pain out of running a business by automatically calculating paychecks, filing payroll taxes, setting up open enrollment. Gusto takes it all off your plate. But that's not all. Time tracking, health insurance, 401k, onboarding, commuter benefits, offer letters, access to HR experts. You get the idea. With Gusto, you can focus on the joy of running your business just like you always wanted to. It's what we use here. It's super easy to set up and get started. And if you're moving from another provider, Gusto can transfer all your data for you. It's no surprise 94% of customers are likely to recommend Gusto. 94. Here's the best part. Because you're a listener, you get 3 months totally free. All you have to do is go to gusto.com/old. Again, that's gusto.com/OLD. I'm telling you, you're going to love Gusto. Get started today.
I've got kids, and that means it's always about them. But I need support too. That's where Ollie comes in. With their delightful, hardworking gummies, my partner and I can actually get a good night's sleep, so we'll both stand a chance of managing our stress responses. Even when the kids are doing parkour in the living room, discover Ollie vitamins and supplements. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Thank you to Catherine. I don't disagree. Many people don't have boundaries and do get stepped on. But I think we should also consider the opposite side, having too many boundaries, or walls really, going from healthy boundaries to impenetrable walls. That can have the unintended consequences of isolating ourselves and removing important experiences that can give us more growth, connection, really just relationships, which is critical for our health. While boundaries can block us from past hurts and disappointments, they can also simultaneously block us from joy and opportunities, vulnerability and genuine connections. And that can make us feel lonely, which seems to be more and more of a problem these days, despite social media or the internet in general promising the opposite. Connecting to the internet seems to disconnect us from real relationships. So if you find yourself feeling more lonely or maybe a bit disconnected or not having deep connections and vulnerability with others, I'd consider that maybe those walls are a bit too rigid, that maybe you're on the other side of this conversation and need to break some walls down. Again, not necessarily disagreeing with the article, but we have to find that balance, and I think it's important to consider. So do consider both sides today. Thank you for being here and listening all the way through to the end. It means a lot. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.